Yeah, I'm Alex Rieder. I farm with my brother Grayson, and we farm triticale, alfalfa, corn, barley, sorghum, and between Johnstown and Kingsburg we do a lot of custom farming in the Kingsburg-Rogan area. Our big thing that we do is we take the liquid manure that the dairies, generally always dairies, have in their long-term storage on the back or where it's at, and we apply to crops that either they grow, their neighbors grow, anywhere around there, and we either inject it into the ground or we top apply with a dribble bar onto live alfalfa or triticale.
What it does is they have an organic material that's already, they have to store and everything like that, and they have to get rid of it. So one of the better ways to do it is reuse it into either injecting or top applying into the field. So a lot of times we don't have to use synthetic nitrogen or anything like that. And so then we're reusing a lot of our byproducts that we have here at the dairy. And then also with that, depending on how they want it applicated, we either do a tillage pass with the ripper or we can top apply it.
We've found a way to move the liquid the most efficient way for us, because we're in Colorado, we're usually constrained by time or weather is always our biggest component. Either it's going to freeze, snow, or do all the same things in one day, and then we'll have a few hours to be able to go. So to be able to have the ability to go pump as much as we can in a short little window, sometimes when we're pumping in January, we'll only get 3 or 4 hours. So we try to get, a couple 100,000 gallons out. I think you can average 1 million gallons every 4 hours is what we can do at some of the spots, as long as there's big enough storage for us.
4th generation farmers. Our dad and uncle were organic farmers here in Johnstown back in the 80s and 90s. And then we moved up to the mountains after our dad passed away and got away from farming for a little bit.
We did a little bit, we ranched up there, did fence building and moved cows around for a little bit up there, and then we became underground coal miners while I was in college, and he was getting ready to go to college for a few years. And again, we saw the efficiencies that we would do underground in the coal mine sometimes and try to pick up some of that stuff. I think deep down, I know for me, I always wanted to farm. I mean, since we were knee high, picking potatoes, doing vegetables with Dad, we never had babysitters. We were either in cabs of tractors or out in the field, probably eating dirt. So when I was getting out of college, I knew I wanted to farm. My brother was in the military, and we kind of had an opportunity to start spreading dry manure. There was a big need for it. The dairy we're in right now is where we kind of started. So he would send me a check every month, and we put that towards buying a manure truck. And when he finally got out, we started running it full time. My other little brother would run it when I'd be doing the managing or farming aspect of it. And then we ended up getting another truck to spread manure with. And I think, what was it, 2018?
Yeah, the end of 2018.
2018, we were in a liquid manure problem here because we couldn't go through the pivot anymore. And so the dairymen, we either hired a crew to come out, no one could get to us in time, and then we decided to go and buy one and try to learn off of YouTube. And we broke a lot of stuff, and we learned a lot, and we got hooked up with a company out of New York that really kind of mentored us and helped us along the way. And now it's our main revenue source of what we're doing. We have truckers and tankers, and they can haul it, move it, and they can go pretty far distances and get rid of it, which is good. It's a way to get rid of it. What we do when we come up, we can move between 2,800 gallons of manure to 3,500 gallons of manure, depends on how thick it is, per 1 gallon of diesel. So we're really efficient on the way we move. And then when we inject it, for farmers that are usually trying to grow their crop and everything, when we inject it, we only lose 1 to 2% of our organic ammonia out of the ground. So then that's there for the farmers right away, and they're able to use that. And we can top apply on the ground that they still get the organic matter and everything else is in it. We just lose a little bit more that way, and that's just been one of the processes of doing it. But we're able to move large quantities of the manure, inject it where it needs to be in the ground, get a tillage pass, and then they can usually leave it till springtime till they need to do something. Well, we used to just not stop, and we just kept going all the time, but guys don't like that. And Grayson's wife was missing him a lot, and same with my other brother's wife was missing him a lot. So we're trying to get it to where it works better, we usually try to start, we start firing pumps up about 7 o'clock in the morning, let them all warm up if we're pumping. And then our guys will have a pretty much good layout of what we want to do that day, how many gallons we're going to try to get done. And then everybody has their job. They go and do it. We get our gallons down. It'll be, we'd be done at 7 o'clock that night. If we get 1.5 million done, we get 2 million done, it's a good day in our book. It all depends on what our application rates are at, what speed we're allowed to run in the fields, all those kind of things. That's a normal day of pumping.
A boring day is a good day, is what we say in pumping, because like stuff can go wrong just like that. Like hose can blow, hydraulics can go out on stuff. I mean, a lot of fun things can happen real quick, especially when you're like 7 miles out pumping. So there's a lot of moving pieces of equipment on it. But for the most part, we try to just keep consistent. So when it goes to harvest season for us, same thing, 7 to 7, and just keep consistent with that because it gets it done. If you're trying to work 18 to 20 hour days, I mean, the only times we actually try to push it hard like that is whether if we have weather coming or if we're trying to get done early for something. But staying consistent is what we've seen works best.
We're always looking for good help, and like I was talking to a couple old farmers the other day, and it's hard to find the same help that we used to have all the time, and that's why we have a lot of younger kids. And my brother, he's got a good tie-in with the local high school kids. One of the dairy here, his
high
son,
school program.
The owner of the dairy here, his son's in high school, and so he a lot of high school kids gravitate this way. You can tell they like ag. They have no way to get into it. They don't know how to get started. So we'll get a lot of them. A lot of them are on our hay side, and you can tell they're eager. They want to learn, and sometimes it's as basic as teach them, hey, this is how you grease stuff. Teach them how to grease stuff. We have some kids that we've started to teach how to weld. The kids like it when you let them, hey, we're gonna go fix some stuff. If they break it, our rule is if you break it, you're gonna come fix it. So then they kind of learn how to do it. And with the pumping side, it's new, right? It's not the semis and everything like that. So guys kind of really want to get in there and learn it. And if you know what you're doing, you pay attention.
Biggest thing on the pumping side is safeties.
Yeah.
Safety in general is like all over, but like pumping with pressures and stuff like that, that's what scares us. And so. Yeah,
and that's the thing is, it's hard to get people to want to come work for ag because we can't pay nearly as much as the oil fields and actually all these places really anymore. But I think the experience they can learn, and we do give them a lot of hours. We do a lot of different things, and I think they like the guys that we have working for us now. I think they like that we'll go from one thing right over into the next. So you kind of keep that nice busy, and we try to keep each guy that works for us, whatever tractor they drive, that's their tractor. We joke with it all the time. This is your tractor. Do whatever you want to it. You just take care of it. Make sure it's clean. If you want your windows tinted, we'll tint your windows. If you want, a cell phone holder in there, whatever they want to do. Everybody kind of customize their tractor the way they want, so they have it. But they're in it generally 12 hours a day, almost nonstop from the time we stop to time we end. When we're planting, the planter tractors, they run usually 24/7. So it's really important that my guys that are in there, me included, or brother, we're comfortable and you enjoy to be in that. We say, hey, that tractor's your office, so make your office nice. So we run a little bit of a mixed fleet. We have Case Steigers, we have Fendt, and we have John Deere's. With the efficiencies of pumping and everything, it kind of just got our mindsets of running, hey, we need to be more efficient. The more we can save, the more we save everybody else. And it kind of all started with our puck manure stuff, because they preach, hey, how efficient can we be? Are we running the motors at the optimum time? Are we getting the most gallons out? What is our gallons per minute? And so we kind of taken that train of thought into a lot of things we do, and that's where we started running the Fendt tractors. And then the efficiencies that they showed us, we're able just to keep multiplying that to the dairies, because that's less diesel fuel we use when we're moving stuff around, or the tractor's moving or laying out hose. That's less diesel fuel that the dairy has to, or the feedlot, or wherever we're at, has to deal with on the long end.
Well, and then also with the Fendt, we do custom mowing, so we run triple mowers. So for that's, we have 2 different spots we'll mow out, down in Kingsburg, then up here for a dairy up here for 5 cuttings we did this year. So having the bigger, that's why we went with the bigger frame, the 900 series Fendt, is because not only do we have the weight and the power and the stopping power for when we have our big trains on them, everything like that, but then we can still use them on our mowers and everything like that. So each one of our tractors has not only one job in the manure application, it has multiple jobs after the manure is put up. So our articulating tractors pack pit, our Fendts mow, and then also one of our Fendts and one of our John Deeres is a farm tractor, so we'll use it to plant, bale, and do field work. First manure equipment we bought was like 21 years old, and then it was smaller pump, so it was like a 4-inch HTB, which is really small, as to where what size are now, 22?
810 22.
822, yeah. So we went from a little 8.1 liter John Deere motor on a 4-inch pump to a C18.
On 12-inch hose.
Yeah, 12-inch hose, so quite a bit different. Our main application tractor at that time was our hose humping tractor, now our 8335R, and now replaced that with the Steiger, and then our 7280 John Deere replaced that with the Fendt, and then I've just kind of gone that way because we have to road so much stuff all the time now. The high speeds and the air brakes and everything that the Fendt has just makes it, for us, for our program, a superior machine.
They honestly just outperform. Every time I'm doing something, it seems like it's outperforming. Either it drives nicer, it's got way more pulling power than I've ever been accustomed to on anything else. It like, we'll put 3 carts together or 4 carts together if we have to, and they just pull. They don't overheat, they don't throw codes, they'll just pull to get the job done. So it's weird, but I never worry about it when we're doing it. I just know, hey, we need to get to this point. That's the last thing we usually worry about, to where sometimes we forget to put fuel into them, because we rarely have to fuel them up every day. We've gone from Pierce, Colorado out to Fort Morgan and then back here to Johnstown, and still have a half a tank of fuel left in the tractor.
For me, the thing that I like about the Fendt is it's more of a utility style tractor. We can get the speed. We don't have like the crazy speed like a fast track or anything like that, but you have a consecutive speed, so we can get the air brakes are really nice for us to get around on. Actually, the onboard air the other day, that we
airing up hose cart tires,
yeah,
like that.
That was really nice because our air compressor was an hour away.
It seems like when we got the first one, it was a tractor built to somebody could own it for a long time. Like, you buy this tractor, it's going to be yours forever. All where you check your oil to your differentials, everything's real close. Everything's bigger. The axles are bigger. It seems like the A-arms are bigger. The drawbars are huge.
Well, and the quality control that comes out of Fendt.
Yeah, I feel if we had if we had to keep the Fendt forever the whole time, it would be easy to maintain and keep it going the life that we need on either the farm, the custom side, or whatnot. They make everything easier to get to. Their service intervals are nice, and well, honestly, drive one. And don't drive one for an hour. Go for a day. You know, go do some work, do some tillage. Switching your controls, anything. Going from a John Deere to a Case messes with me. You know, so go drive it for a day, do some tillage, go feed cows, spread manure, whatever. For a whole day, use it, play with the controls, and I guarantee by the end of it, if you had to go choose which one you're going to jump into, you'll end up jumping in that Fendt. Like, it is not only just on your ride quality when you start learning how everything works. It just makes it a little bit better. Because we use them as semis, we use them as applicator tractors, we use them as farm tractors. They're
all around utility tractor for us.
And until somebody else comes out with a tractor that's going to match them on the versatility, price, and whatever else they can do, it's kind of hard for us to switch on really anything. But growing our business that way, that seems to be a cornerstone, as much as Puck is a cornerstone for our pumping side. It's what we rely on, it's what we trust. It's the best customer service on about anything we've had, are those two companies. It can be a Sunday and we're broke down, and there's somebody I can call that'll usually get us up and going, or tell us what's wrong. Or, you know, on Sundays, instead of just sitting there and sitting on your hands till something opens on Monday, it doesn't seem like it happens with those two companies, and that's really nice.